Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel HK Unique World. This channel is made for you to give you the information about the world history and also the world famous person's biography and also the world literature. However, today I would like to talk about the Muslims culture. You know, the Islam was established by the leadership of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Then later the four caliphs established the caliphates for establishing the solid foundation of the basement of Islam. Then later the Islam as a religion was spread by the numerous persons, those who are a devotee of Islam and also the followers of Islam, and those who are converted their religion to Islam and also others. So this is why the Islam actually widespread scattered and reached to the non-believers and non-Muslims people by the Muslims followers and Muslims leaders. So the Muslim culture was actually mingled different with other cultures. Like at the times the contemporary society was actually the Safavid in the Persia and also the Byzantine cultures. So everything was very fine and very nice. So first of all, the culture actually made a great society. The Arabic society was really enriched and great society by the time of the periods of the Umayyad times and also later the Abbasid periods. The social class was actually categorized by four categories. The upper class was the Muslims by birth, and the second class was those who were converted in Islam, and the third categorized was the protected people, especially the Jewish or the Christians and other religious peoples, and the third was the slaves. So in this way the Muslim society was established. The huge contribution in the world history of the Muslim worlds, the Muslims had great contribution into the side of miracles and also the scientific and also the other contributions into the literature and also into other methods which were introduced by the Muslims scholars. So the first of all, I'd like to talk about the medical systems and the medical contributions of the Muslims. The first the name came to us was the Al-Razis. The Europeans are Western known as Al-Rajis, who are born in Persia, was a very great physicians and also a great scholars, and he actually established a magnificent physician wards in Baghdad and was regarded the best scholars in Arabic histories. Later another person was also had got the reputations. It was the band who had the great contributions not only for the Muslim worlds but also for the philosophical worlds. It was Ibn Rushd, who was regarded one of the most influential polymath, mathematician, scholar, and other qualities he had possessed. So it was a great man and who had much contribution to developing the philosophical world. And in the chemistry, another person was a great scientist of Muslims. He was Jahir ibn Hayyan, and he was also a great man. The term of the algebra also coming from the discovery of the Muslims mathematicians, and the Gibraltars, the name come after another Muslims leader who is known as Jabal Tariq. From the Jabal Tariq it was became Gibraltar Strait. So, however, since the Arabic world is actually interconnected with the three continents such as the Europe and also Africa and also in Asia. So, in the Middle East areas, it was a very fantastic and a very excellent place for establishing such a mega world. Later, the contributions, especially in writings, the Arabic were actually a very common language for the Arabic worlds. The calligraphy, one of the best things of them. The calligraphy was one kind of art of handwritings which was used for writing purposes and also for decorative purposes. So, the calligraphy was very famous for the Arabic persons, and later it was spread near surrounding areas, also going to the China and also coming to the subcontinent and Middle East areas. So, the Muslims had the great contributions not only in the calligraphy, but also talking about the worldly things like the astronomy. Astronomy was very common for the Muslims rulers and Muslims leaders and Muslims people. Those who were navigators, they also count with the lunar calendars, and the lunar calendar was actually based on the astronomies by counting the stars and its directions and also other things. There are numerous inventions by the Muslims scientists such as the alchemist. Those the scientists were actually trying to invent the golds from the chemicals, and they were also had the great contribution to make the papers. The papers actually was made by the Chinese, but later the Arabic peoples learned from the Chinese how to make the papers. The papers invention was really milestones for the humankind, because from the previous times the peoples were accustomed to write down their descriptions, especially in the barks of the trees or the leaves of the trees. However, the papers was really a great things for the Muslims peoples. And architectures was also had the great contribution by the Muslims architects, especially in the Cordoba in Spain. The Cordoba was ruled by the Moorish Muslims, and it was had the great significant architectural structure, especially the mosque, the church and other things were actually developed by the Muslim architect. So, it is still also the symbolic for the Muslim worlds that they created fantastic architectures not only in that areas, but also in the Byzantines. The church and other palatial buildings were actually taken the formula from the Arabic architects. So, in this way the Muslim people had or kept the great contributions for developing the Muslim cultures, and the Muslims were also famous for their different kind of activities, such as they were actually making fantastic palatial buildings and also the different kind of mosque, and they were trying to make huge libraries. And it was the Damascus, the great city established by the Umayyad peoples, and Damascus was a very gorgeous city of the Muslims peoples, and later the Abbasids leaders replaced the capital city to the Baghdad, and Baghdad was regarded at the time one of the best cities in the world, most gorgeous, and it had a huge collection of books. It was fantastic. It had the fantastic libraries, a collection of huge number of books of the world, especially the classical Greece and also the Italians and also the Europeans, from the Africans. All kinds of books were available at the times. The Baghdad was established by a great ruler of the Caliph Al-Mansur, who was actually the ruler of Abbasid dynasty, and had much contribution to the development of the cultures and the societies in the history of the Muslims world. So, however, another city was also famous for the Muslims culture. It was the Cairo in Egypt, which was established a fantastic city by the Fatimids, those who were also the Muslims, Shia Muslims, and they had the contribution to these areas. Later, the Muslims also find the mixing cultures from the Saffavid, from Persia, and also from the Byzantine areas. It was the Ottomans, Turkey, later and Seljuks, Turkeys were building up such a fantastic and the great legacy of the Muslims. So now the Muslims, the number of the people are increasing. It is called the second religious holders of the people after the Christianity. So Islam has become the second religions according to the statistics of the world. That in future the Islam will be the most dominant religion in the world. So regarding a different kind of contributions, the Muslims were really had the great contribution for developing, and it is the Europes, those who are the Europeans, those who are really actually indebted to the Muslims scholars and scientists, because by researching their activities and their books, the Renaissance was took place in Greece and also the Italy, and they also copied from the Arabic scholars and also the Arabic scientists to invent different kind of things. So last of all, this is my clear conception, is that in the history of the world, Muslim worlds became the significant world from the rest of the world, because it was enlightened by the great prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and also his followers had consolidated his successions, and the successors later also developed different kind of cultures, and it was widespread. So thank you very much for today, and next time I'll be talking about Byzantine Empire. So you are invited to watch my next video. Those who are watching my video, please subscribe my channels and through some comments and like my channels. Thank you very much.